Part 14. The Sweetness of the Seventies. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 133. Chapter 133 Scum, Get Out of Here. 640 plus. He Tian didn't know that her excessive blood loss had already been characterized as a ghost in Grandma Chi San's mind. You lie down first, and I'll get you a bowl of bone soup. You drink some first. After Grandma Chi San finished speaking, she moved her little feet out of the house. He Tian drank the bone soup brought by Grandma Chi San. There was something in her stomach and her head was not as dizzy as before. After eating and drinking, He Tian wanted to sleep. This time, although his vitality was not seriously injured, He Tian had to take a good rest. Grandma Chi San covered He Tian with a quilt. This time she gently closed the door and went out. She hid alone and prayed to He Tian for blessings. It was very sweet. Let's say that Chi Xiaoyan went out and went home and asked her mother Liang Hongyu to deliver the basket that He Tian left on the road to Grandma Chi San's house. She took the money and hurried to Hujiakan to find Wang Shuilian. It's winter, people don't come out and stay indoors all the time. There are few people who are sick. Wang Shuilian has been at home these days. Seeing Chi Xiaoyan coming, he listened to Chi Xiaoyan's description, brought some ointments, pills, and a large medicine box, and followed Chi Xiaoyan to Kijia village. When they were about to reach the village, Chi Xiaoyan and Wang Shuilian met Chi Jiangguo, who was riding a bicycle and returning from doing errands outside. Sister Shuilian, why are you here? Chi Jiangguo asked, glancing at Chi Xiaoyan, who is sick in the village. Sister Tian is not feeling well, Chi Xiaoyan replied, we are almost there, Dr. Wang, let's go quickly. Chi Jiangguo was stunned and asked quickly, how is Tian? When Chi Xiaoyan heard Chi Jiangguo's familiar name, she remembered that Sister Tian hated Chi Jiangguo. Chi Fangfang felt a little unhappy and said, it's nothing serious. The doctor will know after seeing it. Dr. Wang, let's go quickly. Chi Jiangguo had previously promoted He Tian. If he hadn't known about it in advance, Sister Tian would have been unlucky. Now that I heard that Sister Tian is sick, I came here to show concern again. It's so hypocritical and disgusting. Sister Shuilian, come up here and I'll take you, so hurry up, Chi Jiangguo said quickly, with concern on his face. When Wang Shuilian saw Chi Jiangguo like this, she knew that Chi Jiangguo was still thinking about that girl. Wang Shuilian saw the signs when she showed Grandma Chi San's legs last time. Since he was a relative of his own, Wang Shuilian was naturally willing to help and said with a smile, that's okay, I can go faster by riding your bicycle. Chi Xiaoyan wanted to stop her, but it was difficult to say. After all, the matter between Chi Jiangguo and Sister Tian was not made public, and it was unclear how Sister Tian was doing. It would be best if the doctor came over as soon as possible. As for Chi Jiangguo, even if you gave him 10 courages, he wouldn't dare to act recklessly in broad daylight. Wang Shuilian jumped on Chi Jiangguo's bicycle without waiting for Chi Xiaoyan's answer. Chi Jiangguo had a bad impression of Chi Xiaoyan because of his sister Chi Fangfang, so he drove Wang Shuilian to Kijia village not far away on his bicycle without saying anything to Chi Xiaoyan. Chi Xiaoyan was stomping her feet angrily from behind. This Chi Jiangguo was so shameless. Thinking that Grandma Chi San was old and Sister Tian was weak, Chi Xiaoyan did not dare to delay, and trotted to He Tian regardless of her own health. Chi Xiaoyan had something on her mind, but she didn't feel that her health was completely different from before. When Chi Jiangguo came with Wang Shuilian, Grandma Chi San was also stunned. She looked behind and didn't see Chi Xiaoyan, so she asked, Jiangguo, where is Xiaoyan? I'm in a hurry to bring Sister Shuilian over first. Xiaoyan is still behind, Chi Jiangguo said, Auntie, let's go in quickly and treat Tian. Qi Jiangguo grabbed Wang Shuolian's arm and walked in quickly, carrying the medicine box. Grandma Qi San stood on tiptoe at the back and said, "Since the founding of the People's Republic of China, that sweet girl has become a big girl, so you don't want to go in." "Dr. Wang, I will go in with you." Qi Jiangguo cursed secretly in his heart. He was so old that he was delaying his good deeds. "This medicine box is very heavy, I'd better take it in." Qi Jiangguo made an excuse. He knew which house he Tian lived in, so he opened the door and went in directly. Wang Shuilian thought that her aunt acted inappropriately because she and he Tian already had a crush on each other, but it was excusable, so she did not stop him and went in with Qi Jiangguo. Grandma Qi San squinted her eyes from behind. "Qi Jiangguo, you are a bitch, you are not a good person. You are not a good-hearted person when a weasel pays New Year's greetings to a rooster." What she just said was so obvious, but now Qi Jiangguo actually rushed forward. "Don't know any etiquette." That Wang Shuilian is also confused. He Tian was woken up when she heard someone push the door. She stretched out from under the bed and saw He Tian's smooth arms exposed in her slightly loose pajamas. She rubbed her eyes with her little hands and saw Qi Jiangguo as soon as she opened her eyes. "Get out! Get out of here!" He Tian shouted. When she saw Qi Jiangguo, her mind was filled with everything from her past life. She hates Qi Jiangguo. She hates being lied to. Qi Jiangguo stopped and Wang Shuilian was also stunned. Grandma Qi San had already walked over and said, "Jiangguo, you kid, this girl is resting in bed, what are you doing in there? Come out quickly. Get out, get out!" He Tian lost control and shouted, "If you don't leave, I will sue you for being a hooligan." Seeing He Tian's reaction, Wang Shuilian quickly took the medicine box and said, "Jiangguo, get out quickly. The little girl is so angry that she will be fine in a while." Qi Jiangguo was angry. He wanted to stay. Seeing He Tian lying on the bed, he wanted to press on her at all costs and love this little woman who was like a little hedgehog. "Jiangguo, Jiangguo." Grandma Qi San was angry. Why is this person so shameless? Seeing that Qi Jiangguo refused to leave, he picked up a walking stick, hit Qi Jiangguo's calf, and said, "If you don't get out yet, if you don't get out, I will go out and call someone. Get out quickly." Seeing that Grandma Qi San was angry, Wang Shuilian quickly pushed Qi Jiangguo out. Qi Jiangguo sighed and squatted beside the door dejectedly. Grandma Qi San closed the door from the inside, preventing Qi Jiangguo from looking inside. "Haha, my aunt is a good person. I met Xiao Yan on the road and asked me to come over. He knew you were sick and was very anxious, so he took me here on his bicycle." Wang Shuilian explained with a smile. He didn't mean any harm. "You never mind." He Tian glanced at Wang Shuilian, squinted her eyes, and said word by word, "I mind." Wang Shuilian was stunned for a moment, then asked again, "Haha, young man, you just have a bad temper and are having trouble." He Tian sat up, put on a small green floral cotton padded jacket, looked at Wang Shuilian and said, "Comrade Wang, please be careful when you speak. I'm not angry, I'm just chasing away someone who randomly broke into my room." Polite man. As for the quarrel, there is no way to talk about it. You are wrong. I have no relationship with Comrade Qi Jiangguo, and I don't want to have any contact. The Sweetness of the Seventies. Author, Qi Xing Cao. Chapter 134. Chapter 134. Another Plan, 660+. Wang Shuilian could hear the disgust and lack of affection in He Tian's tone, so she guessed that He Tian didn't like her aunt Qi Jiangguo at all, and it was probably Qi Jiangguo's wishful thinking. Although Wang Shuilian was a little unhappy that He Tian looked down on her outstanding aunt, as a doctor, she couldn't turn around and leave without seeing a doctor. "Haha, I'm kidding." Wang Shuilian smiled. "I see that your face is pale, you must have insufficient energy and blood. Come, let me take a look and feel your pulse. He Tian reached out from the next door and said politely, trouble. She was not joking at all, now she was completely weak. If she could get up now, she would slap Qi Jiangguo several times. I'm a doctor, so I should, Wang Shuilian said politely, feeling He Tianatian's pulse and then checking He Tianatian's joints and bones. There was nothing wrong. How is the sweet girl? Qi San's grandma asked with concern. She felt uncomfortable because Qi Jiangguo was angry just now. Wang Shuilian smiled and replied, don't worry, even if the blood and energy are insufficient, the bones in the body are not broken. Just eat some red dates and take good supplements. No need to prescribe medicine, Grandma Qi San asked. Anyway, there is still a lot of meat in the house, so it's all for the sweet girl to eat. No need, Wang Shuilian said, she is young and in good health. She is probably menstruating. She was exposed to cold water and had too much menstrual blood. That's why she is like this. Just pay more attention in the future. He Tian admitted that he was short of energy and blood. It was just that there was too much menstrual blood, and she couldn't bear it. But then I thought about it, hey, her menstrual flow was normal, but after the Snake King drank a meal, Qi Xiaoyan drank a meal, and she did lose too much blood. It's not easy to come here. How much does the consultation cost? He Tian asked. From the fact that Wang Shuilian didn't prescribe medicine just because he wanted to make money, it can be seen that this person has good medical ethics. No need, we are all fellow villagers, just help each other. Wang Shuilian put on the pulse pillow and stood up to leave. If Wang Shuilian and Qi Jiangguo were not related, maybe He Tian would give Wang Shuilian something without giving money, but now they are relatives, and they seem to have a good relationship, and He Tian doesn't want to owe a favor. That won't work. I'll give you as much as you should. I won't let you make this trip in vain, He Tian said, taking out $1 from the wallet beside him. Is it enough? Wang Shuilian saw that He Tian was trying hard to distance herself from her, and she probably didn't want to get involved with her aunt outside. She smiled lightly and said, it's too much. It only costs 30 cents. Wang Shuilian took the money and said with a smile, haha, I've got this money. It's time to take it, it's time to take it. Grandma Qi San smiled and sent Wang Shuilian out. Outside, Qi Jiangguo hadn't left yet, but Qi Xiaoyan came in panting. How is Sister Tian? Qi Xiaoyan asked. How is Tian? Qi Jiangguo asked. The two of them looked at Wang Shuilian. Wang Shuilian said, don't worry, it's just a lack of energy and blood. Just eat something good to replenish it. Oh, Qi Xiaoyan understood slightly. She had also experienced dysmenorrhea before, and thought it was sweet and meant that it was dysmenorrhea. Is everything okay? Qi Jiangguo still wanted to look inside. Grandma Qi San has closed the door, so Qi Jiangguo can't see inside. It's okay, I have something else to do, so I'm going back first. Wang Shuilian carried the medicine box on her back. Jiangguo, if you're okay, send me back to the village. Walking in the cold weather is quite tiring. Qi Jiangguo felt disappointed, glanced at the two closed wooden doors, and left disappointed. Outside, Wang Shuilian asked curiously, Jiangguo, how are you and that educated youth named He Tian doing? What else can I do? Qi Jiangguo smiled bitterly, people look down on me. Let me tell you, that girl is nothing but good looking. If you are so good, you can definitely find a better girl, Wang Shuilian advised. She could not see any affection in He Tianatian's eyes just now, and even its disgust, which shows that I have no feelings for my aunt at all. If my cousin is still so persistent, something big might happen in the future. Hey, Qi Jiangguo sighed and said nothing. He would not tell anyone else what was on his mind. Wang Shuilian thought that her aunt had already listened, so she stopped trying to persuade her. After Qi Jiangguo sent Wang Shuilian back, he returned home dejected. What should he do now? Zhou Huerhe didn't have the leverage to hold He Tiantian, Qi Xiaoyan, and He Tiantian on guard against her sister, and he had no chance to get close to He Tiantian. He went to the county seat and already got information from Zhou Hai. Although Zhou Hai did not reveal the prosecution letter written by him, Niu Dajin and Niu Peng's ability may have found out that it was Qi Jiangguo who wrote the prosecution letter. Since Niu Dajin has such a good relationship with Secretary Qi, he will definitely tell Qi Dazu. The reason why Qi Dazu hasn't come to him to argue with him yet is probably because he doesn't have any real evidence or because he doesn't want to implicate other people. Originally, I wanted to remove Uncle Qi from the position of village party secretary and let his second uncle become the village party secretary. Unexpectedly, after a lot of planning, he failed to achieve his goal. Being targeted by Qi Dazu again is not a good thing. Qi Jiangguo kept thinking about the solution. At this time, Qi Fangfang's voice came from outside, "Brother, it's time to eat." There was no sound in the room. Qi Fangfang patted the door, pushed the door open and came in, saying, "Brother, you're up for dinner. What stimulation did you receive outside?" "It's okay." Qi Jiangguo sat up from the bed and followed Qi Fangfang out. "By the way, brother. This time I went to my aunt. My aunt said that she has already taken care of you. She said that after the new year, as long as you pass the village's review, you can go to college." Qi Fangfang said. She also felt that her face was bright when her eldest brother went to college. Maybe he could find a job for her after he graduated. Qi Jiangguo's eyes lit up after hearing this. Yes, he can still go to college. It will take 2 or 3 years to graduate from college, and by that time he is already a college student, and the country has officially assigned a job, so He Tiantian will definitely look at him differently. Such a good opportunity is in front of you and cannot be missed. Qi Jiangguo decided to do things honestly and not to stir up trouble recently. He would wait until he goes to college. "I understand, don't worry. When my brother goes to college, I will definitely find an opportunity for you to work as a worker in the county," Qi Jiangguo said. He was in a good mood and had a good appetite, so he went to his house to share the meat and had a mouthful of it. Fragrant. Qi Fangfang was also very happy and said, "Brother, you are so kind. I will remember that. You must find a chance for me to join the factory. I don't want to farm in the countryside at all, it is too hard." "Remember," Qi Jiangguo promised, "this counts as time. When you have nothing to do, continue to find Qi Xiaoyan and He Tiantian to play. See what they have done, and come back and tell me." Qi Fangfang only thought about her brother pulling her out in the future, so she naturally agreed. The monthly pass is 690 plus, and there is still 700 plus to be issued at 6 o'clock. Please vote for the 5th update. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 135. Chapter 135 Boredom, Joy, 680 plus. Qi Xiaoyan saw Qi Jiangguo leaving and hurried in. "Sister Tiantian, have a good rest. I still have brown sugar at home. I will get it for you right now," Qi Xiaoyan said. "Hey, you are so uncomfortable and weak, and you are still carrying me. I guess you are tired." He Tiantian smiled, her face looked better, and said, "I'm fine, you're exhausted too, go back and rest. By the way, you haven't eaten yet, there is bone soup at home, you drink some. That's a good thing to replenish your body." "I won't drink it. You have to sleep for a while and I'll get some candy," Qi Xiaoyan said. She was so anxious that she couldn't sleep. Now she suddenly felt her stomach growling, and then she remembered that she hadn't eaten yet. "It's lunch. Grandma Chi-san couldn't keep Chi Xiaoyan, but she couldn't. When Chi Xiaoyan came home and saw He Tianatian's backpack, she realized that her mother had carried He Tianatian's backpack home. It turned out that someone in the village had carried the basket away, and her mother had just found it. Anyway, after dinner, I was going to give He Tiantian some brown sugar, so I carried it and returned it together. Seeing that her daughter was busy, Liang Hongyu asked some questions and found that her daughter was a little different from before. Liang Hongyu really couldn't remember what was different about it. After Chi Xiaoyan had eaten, she took the bag of brown sugar and said, "Mom, Sister Tiantian is tired from carrying me. I want to give her some brown sugar to drink to replenish her blood." "Okay, let your dad buy some for you in the county town in a few days," Liang Hongyu said. He Tiantian was generous to their family, and she would not be stingy. When Chi Xiaoyan saw that her mother had no objection, she took the brown sugar and a bamboo basket to Grandma Chi-san's house. When He Tiantian was sleeping, Chi Xiaoyan did not disturb her, but stayed outside with Grandma Chi-san. When He Tiantian woke up, Chi Xiaoyan immediately poured a bowl of brown sugar water for He Tiantian to drink. Not to mention, after drinking the sweet and hot brown sugar water, He Tiantian felt warm and comfortable in her stomach. Seeing that He Tiantian was strong and no longer limp, Chi Xiaoyan felt relieved to go home. With Chi Xiaoyan's careful care, He Tiantian no longer regrets saving Chi Xiaoyan. Knowing that He Tiantian was low on energy and blood, Chi Fangfang also brought half a caddy of brown sugar over. "Sister Tiantian, you should take good care of yourself. My mother said that if a woman has insufficient energy and blood, she will suffer from having children in the future," Chi Fangfang said seriously. "This is the brown sugar my brother bought me in the county. I am now no need, I'll give it to you to drink. I hope you can make up for it soon. Brown sugar is a good thing, but I can't have it. Take it back quickly." Besides, He Tiantian didn't want anything from Chi Fangfang, let alone Chi Jiangguo who bought it. Chi Fangfang put the brown sugar on the table and said, "Sister Tiantian, why are you so alienated from me? We are good friends." Looking at the face that overlapped with his previous life, and hearing Chi Fangfang's words, his face twitched. "Who is your good friend? It's not enough that I was deceived by you for the rest of my life in my previous life. I have to be deceived by you for the rest of my life, right?" Although Chi Xiaoyan didn't know about some things, He Tiantian didn't like anyone in the Chi family. Now she just wanted to stay away and look for opportunities to take revenge. "Haha, I'm serious, you better take it. I really have it here." He Tiantian refused again. If it weren't for no reason, she really wanted to break up with Chi Fangfang and ignore each other. That would be the best. "Sister Tiantian, why are you so stubborn?" Chi Fangfang said. "Since I sent it, I won't take it away." "Well, since you and I are so alienated, I won't be an eyesore here. You have a good rest, I'm back." Chi Fangfang ran out in small steps without giving He Tiantian a chance to speak again. The eldest brother told her that the things must be delivered, but she didn't dare to be vague. It was He Tiantian who was lukewarm towards her eldest brother, which made her feel worthless for him. Walking at the door, I saw Sister Wu, Ye Ziofen, Wang Lei and Zhang Qingshan coming to visit He Tiantian. 4 people pooled some money and bought a basket of eggs. Grandma Chi-san welcomed people in and was very happy when she saw the basket of eggs. This is not just a matter of a basket of eggs, but it shows that He Tiantian has a close relationship with these people. It also proves that He Tiantian not only has a good relationship with the villagers in Kijia village, but also has a good relationship with the educated youth. Come in, Grandma Chi-san said. "You kids, just come and see the sweet girl if you want. Why are you buying eggs?" Sister Wu was the most cheerful and said, "Grandma Chi, we don't have much money on hand. This is a little thought from the 4 of us. We will give it to Tiantian." I hope she will recover soon and be as lively as before. Grandma Chi-san took the basket and said, since you brought it, I won't refuse it. Sit in the room, sweet girl is reading in the room. He Tian heard the noise outside and said, come in and sit down. Actually, I'm not dizzy anymore. Grandma Chi just won't let me out. Well, it's okay outside anyway, so you don't have to worry, Sister Wu said, seeing that you are well, we can leave with peace of mind. He Tian was surprised and asked, are you going home? Are you coming back? Hey, of course I'm coming back. There are no recruitment quotas in the city. Even if there are, it won't be our family's turn. Your brother Wang Lei and I will go home to meet our parents and finalize the marriage, Sister Wu said openly. I am very satisfied with my marriage, and I can say it very confidently in front of He Tian. Congratulations to you and brother Wang, He Tian smiled, when you get married, I will give you a big gift. Okay, I won't be polite to you. I will take whatever you give me, Sister Wu laughed and said. Xiao Fan and Zhang Qingshan went back to get engaged. He Tian listened and sighed in her heart. After Sister Wu and Wang Lei returned to Qijia village from their hometown after the Chinese New Year in the previous life, Sister Wu and Wang Lei got married and bought some wedding candies to scatter. As for Zhang Qingshan and Ye Xiaofan, they failed. It seems that Ye Xiaofan's family asked for too many betrothal gifts, and Zhang Qingshan's family also had brothers and sisters who couldn't afford so much money, so they were delayed. Until Ye Xiaofan was ruined, he was not with Zhang Qingshan. Then I also congratulate Sister Xiaofan, He Tian smiled, like Sister Wu, I will also prepare a big gift for you. Ye Xiaofan blushed, but also thank you very much. Tian is a young person, but he is the most powerful among us educated youths. That means you will praise me. He Tian was embarrassed by their comments and lowered her head. It's not just us, everyone in Qijia village doesn't say you are capable. You have outdone us all. Sister Wu smiled, you are young and thin, but you are surprisingly strong and can run fast. It's so fast, even the wild boars can't catch up, ha ha ha. The fifth update, please vote. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 136. Sister Wu said while laughing. But this was not ridicule, but praise and envy. He Tian, a little girl, was doing better than the older educated youth, which really surprised them. Compared with Lin Ziru and Huang Jingli, He Tian was much better at dealing with people. You are laughing at me, He Tian said angrily. Okay, let's not talk about this. When are you leaving? Have you bought the train tickets? Sister Wu said with a bitter face, the certificate has been issued. Tomorrow morning, Wang Lei and Zhang Qingshan will go to buy tickets. I don't know if they can buy tickets. He Tian thought for a while and said, well, if possible, you can go to the post office to try to see Niu Daijin. If you meet him, he may be able to help you buy tickets. Wang Lei listened outside and said, yes, we had dinner together last time, and we talked a few words. Wang Lei is lively, speaks and acts steadily, and he and Niu Daijin hit it off at first sight. Asking Niu Daijin to help buy tickets should be possible. Okay, let's go see if we can buy it tomorrow. If we can't, we'll ask for help. After all, Niu Daijin also has a job. If we can avoid bothering him, we won't bother him, Zhang Qingshan said. After all, it's the new year now, and there are a lot of letters. They feel bad about delaying Niu Daijin's work. It's up to you. I wish you a happy marriage and a long life together. He Tian sincerely wished them well. It was not easy to find like-minded people who cared for each other in the difficult years. Material poverty, spiritual richness, people can also live happier. The four people chatted with He Tian here for a while, and then said goodbye and left. They couldn't disturb He Tian's rest. He Tian asked Grandma Chi-san to pack some pine nuts for them to eat on the train as a return gift. After they left, He Tian and Grandma Chi-san had lunch, and were locked in the room by Grandma Chi-san. She was not allowed to go. In the afternoon, Niu Daijin came to deliver the letter. Chi Shulai wanted to keep the letter, but Niu Daijin had already told Chi Xiaoyan to let He Tian get the letter. Chi Xiaoyan knew that He Tian was lying on the field to recuperate, so she followed and said, "Second Uncle Chi, Sister Tian is not feeling well these 2 days and can't come over. Let me come to help get the letter. You just give me the letter." Chi Shulai smiled but didn't smile. He was very unhappy in his heart. He felt guilty for not helping his nephew before. Haha, it stands to reason that I can give it to you. However, there is a rule that the letter must be delivered to the person concerned. Since Comrade He Tian is not feeling well, let's wait until He Tian gets better and let her come to get it, Village Chief Chi said with a smile, as if it was a matter of course, thinking that Chi Xiaoyan was impolite. When Chi Xiaoyan heard this, she knew that Chi Shulai was holding back something, and said with a look of surprise, "Sister Tian knows that the letter has come, and she will definitely want to see the letter as soon as possible. Sister Tian is not in good health, so why not do this? Let's deliver the letter to Sister Tian together." The little girl was still putting on a face in front of him. "If he can't deal with your father, and can't deal with a little girl like you, then his decades of hard work have been in vain. Xiaoyan, it's not that your second uncle is unwilling to deliver it," Chi Shulai sighed with a bitter face. "Look, there are so many account books on my desk, how can I have the time to deliver it in person, and it's almost the end of the year, and each family's food coupons, etc. have to be distributed. Besides, look at this letter, you can see that it is sent by the army, you must come to get the letter in person." Chi Xiaoyan felt more and more suffocated the more she listened. Chi Shulai was really as bad as his parents said. What Chi Shulai said was right and reasonable. Although Niu Daijin knew in his heart that Chi Shulai did it on purpose, he couldn't speak for Chi Xiaoyan. "Okay, Daijin brother, you wait here for a while, I'll ask Sister Tian to get the letter. In case Uncle Chi is so busy, he will forget other people's letters again," Chi Xiaoyan said angrily, turned around and left. Chi Shulai was not happy about what Chi Xiaoyan said, but Chi Xiaoyan was the daughter of the village chief Chi and his junior, so he should not argue with the little Chi Xiaoyan. "Hey, this girl is still angry in front of Niu Daijin." Chi Shulai held back his frustration and smiled, "I am also in a difficult situation. Official business is to offend people. Daijin, you see, I am really busy, it's not that I don't want to send it. Kijia village is a small place, and I can send the letter when I go home for dinner." This is obviously an excuse. "Haha, yes, I am busy at the end of the year," Niu Daijin also said with a smile, as if he didn't see Chi Shulai's mean heart at all. Chi Shulai saw that Niu Daijin didn't give him the letter, so he couldn't ask for it. When Chi Xiaoyan came to find He Tian angrily, He Tian had just woken up. "Sister Tian, hurry up and get dressed. There is a letter for you, sent by the person last time," Chi Xiaoyan said. "I told Chi Shulai that you are not feeling well, so I will take it for you, but he just won't give it to me. I asked him to send it over, but he said he was busy looking at the account book, and asked you to go get the letter when you are better. I was worried that he would lose the letter, so I asked Brother Daijin to wait there and I will call you." When He Tian heard that there was a letter, it must be Huo Yingji's letter, so she got up and got dressed quickly. In fact, He Tian had recovered today, but Grandma Chi-san was worried about He Tian, so she must have stopped her from getting up. Seeing that He Tian was going to get the letter, Grandma Chi-san couldn't stop her, so she asked her to go and come back quickly. In front of Chi Shulai, He Tian took the letter back from Niu Daijin and walked away in a swagger. "The sun is almost setting now. Niu Daejin will continue to stay at Chi Xiao Yan's house today and will go back early tomorrow morning. He Tian originally wanted to ask about the train tickets, but then she thought about it and let Wu Lei and Zhang Qingshan talk about it. After all, you need a letter of introduction from the village to buy train tickets. He Tian stopped by the residence in Zheishan and told them that Niu Daejin was here and was at the home of village chief Qi. If you have anything, you can ask. After Wu Lei and Zhang Qingshan heard this, they hurried to village chief Qi's house. He Tian, Sister Wu and Ye Xiaofan talked for a while and then returned to their room. He Tian originally wanted to cook by herself, but Grandma Qi-san kicked her out and refused to let He Tian do anything. Fainting yesterday and being so weak probably had something to do with being tired some time ago. Grandma Qi-san insisted on thinking so. He Tian read the letter in the house and received a lot of food stamps. Huo Yingzhe must be so afraid that she won't have enough to eat. In his previous life, Huo Yingzhe must have sent food stamps or remittances, but they were probably claimed by Qi Jiangguo and Qi Shulai without receiving any. Thinking that there were a lot of pine nuts at home, He Tian wrote a reply to Huo Yingzhe. There were not many fried pine nuts at home for the time being. After she caught the hare and made the dried hare meat, she would fry more and mail some meat to her parents and children. Huo Yingzhe. Please vote for the 5th update. Moi. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Xing Cao. Chapter 137. When village chief Qi went to the county seat, she followed him. He took a bullock cart and could carry a lot of things. The most important thing is that she doesn't want to increase the burden on Niu Daejin. During the Chinese New Year, Niu Daejin's work is even busier. Besides, a bicycle can't carry much. He Tian had already made such an arrangement. Although she didn't send anything to Huo Yingzhe, the letter was full of friendship. I hope Huo Yingzhe can feel sweet after reading it. Although the words are trivial things in daily life, after being written by He Tian, you can always see the warm feeling. In addition to these, He Tian also wrote that she would not let Huo Yingzhe send her food stamps. Huo Yingzhe was so big that he couldn't go hungry when he could eat. Being hungry now may affect your body in the future. He Tian also told him what happened in Kijia village, saying that she was not hungry, so that he could rest assured. I wrote 7 or 8 eloquently, and finally stopped, checked it carefully, and put it in an envelope. Late at night, He Tian did not light a kerosene lamp, but used the bright light in the Snake King's enchanted space for illumination. Suddenly she heard a rustling sound outside. She thought there was a thief, so she cautiously came to the window and looked outside. In the moonlight, He Tian could vaguely make out the person with a slightly stooped body and small feet walking. That was Grandma Qi's. Oops, He Tian looked at her watch. It was already past 11 o'clock, almost midnight. Why didn't Grandma Qi sleep? He Tian was very surprised, and when she heard the sound of the door, she was startled again. Could it be that Grandma Qi was sleepwalking? After so many years, what would you do if you were sleepwalking and fell down outside in the middle of the night? However, it is said that when someone is sleepwalking, others cannot wake her up, otherwise she will be frightened to death. He Tian quickly whispered, "Gilo me, Snake King, come out quickly. Grandma Qi is sleepwalking in the middle of the night. I have to follow, otherwise Grandma Qi will fall and it will be very dangerous." "Then follow me, why are you calling me?" the Snake King asked in confusion. "The moonlight is pretty good outside, you can see clearly." He Tian replied again, "You can help me hide my figure, but I can't scare Grandma Qi. I heard that when sleepwalking, you can't be awakened, otherwise you will be scared to death. Grandma Qi is a good person, how did she treat me, you also know that, so I know she went out in the middle of the night, and I have to follow her to ensure her safety." Okay, then the Snake King read a few words, and then said, "Hurry up and follow the footsteps and figures that have been hidden." When the Snake King is not practicing, he starts to observe the people around him. At first, MRSG did have some intention of taking advantage of He Tien Tien. But as we got along later, we became more sincere. Now, whatever good things are available at home, Grandma Chi-san will leave them to He Tien Tien and treat He Tien Tien as a relative. Usually He Tien Tien is not at home, and this old lady often misses He Tien Tien. Grandma Chi-san is a poor old man, but also a respectable person. He Tien Tien opened the door carefully and followed carefully. Grandma Chi-san has small feet and is very slow even with a cane. In addition, she is old and has bad eyesight. Sometimes at night, even if there is moonlight, Grandma Chi-san still cannot see the road clearly and walks even slower. He Tien Tien has always been curious. Grandma Chi's walking does not look like sleepwalking at all. Although He Tien Tien was an ignorant woman in her previous life, every household had a TV. Some TV dramas show sleepwalkers, who are expressionless and unconscious, wandering outside. But Grandma Chi looked at her feet from time to time, then turned her head and looked around. If He Tien Tien hadn't hidden her figure and voice, Grandma Chi would have discovered her. The more I thought about it, the more curious I became, so He Tien Tien continued to follow. Oops, isn't this the way to the livestock team? In front of us is the grove. According to Grandma Chi-san, this grove was a mass grave before liberation. Oh my God, can't it be, is there really a ghost? And even fell in love with Grandma Chi? He Tien Tien was trembling with fear and her calves were a little weak. If it was a previous life, He Tien Tien would never believe it. But there is a magical Snake King next to her. She has been with the Snake King for a long time, and she knows the human world, the demon world, the way of heaven, and the 9 heavens' mysterious thunder. That is still far away from the underworld's king of hell, the little ghost, and the bull-headed horse face. Idiot, came the voice of the Snake King in his head. Why did he find such a partner? When He Tien Tien heard the voice of the Snake King, she was no longer afraid. She was not alone now, there was a snake. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Why did you say that to me? He Tien Tien asked the Snake King in her heart while following Grandma Chi in front. The Snake King has great magical powers. Generally, it is He Tien Nation's own fault to say this about her. There is no such thing as the underworld in the world. If you die, you will die. Only with death can there be life, and only in this way will life continue. The Snake King said, those ghosts you talk about in the human world do not exist. Yes. But if there was spiritual energy in the human world before, it could indeed nourish monsters or cultivators. Are you sure? He Tien Tien was dubious. The reason why he believed it was because He Tien Tien had never seen a ghost in all these years. The reason why I don't believe it is because after He Tien Tien got the Snake King, he thought everything was possible. Humph, seeing that He Tien Tien doubted his words, the Snake King said, I won't tell you any more, and entered the barrier. Grandma Chi entered the woods, and He Tien Tien ignored the angry Snake King and followed her. Grandma Chi-san took off the basket on her arm and squatted on the ground. He Tien Tien walked 2 meters to the side of Grandma Chi-san, wanting to see clearly what Grandma Chi was doing. Grandma Chi-san's behavior is too weird. Suddenly there was a sting. Grandma Chi lit the match, and took out a handful of things from the basket with her other hand. It didn't look like grass, but paper, cut into circles, like paper money. It turns out that Grandma Chi came here to burn paper. He Tien Tien suddenly realized. Just as He Tien Tien was guessing, Grandma Chi had already lit the paper money in her hand. By the light of the fire, He Tien Tien could see Grandma Chi's expression clearly. On his wrinkled face, he had a caring and pious expression. He knelt on the ground, put his hands together, and muttered, all kinds of ghosts and gods, my sweet girl is ignorant. If I offend you, please forgive me for the sake of my late night cooking. Give it to sweet girl. In the future, I will make offerings during the New Year and holidays. It is said that good deeds are rewarded and evil deeds are punished. Sweet girl is so kind and willing to help others, and she does good deeds. I would also like to ask all kinds of ghosts and gods to bless sweet girl in good health. Peace and peace. If my son is not dead yet, let me live for a few more years and let our mother and son meet. Please vote for the 5th update. Please please. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 138. Chapter 138 Pray and Be Moved, monthly ticket 700 plus. Grandma Chi's words, although long-winded, were like a trickle flowing into Hetianation's heart, and like a warm stove, warming Hetianation's heart and body. Grandma Chi is such a cautious person, but she actually did such a thing. It can be seen that Grandma Chi really gave birth to her granddaughter. When she prayed to ghosts and gods for blessings, she put her in front and herself in the back. This shows how much Grandma Chi values and cares for her. Seeing this, Hetianation's eyes became hot, and tears kept flowing down her cheeks. In order not to be exposed, Hetian choked and did not dare to speak out. Hetian doesn't remember her grandma. There is only a photo of her grandma holding her 1-month-old father at home. But those were just cold photos, and Hetian didn't feel the care of her grandmother. But from today on, Grandma Chi-san is her own grandma. Grandma Chi-san said something, then kowtowed a few times devoutly, then got up and went back carrying a small basket. Grandma Chi-san looked around and found that no one was there, so she was slightly relieved, carrying the basket and bouncing back home. Sometimes the road was not good, and I wobbled a few times and almost fell down. Hetian was crying while following Grandma Chi not far away to prevent her from falling. It would only take 5 minutes for Hetian to walk from Grandma Chi's house to the grove by herself. However, Grandma Chi is a lady with small feet. Hetianation's step was enough for her to take 3 or 4 steps. After a while, Grandma Chi was out of breath. Normally during the day, Grandma Chi would rest twice, but what she did today was too dangerous, so Grandma Chi didn't dare to rest, so she stumbled and walked quickly back to the village. When she got home, Grandma Chi collapsed on the ground leaning against the door, gasping for air. Hetian wanted to get rid of her invisibility and help her grandma. If you don't want to scare this little old lady to death, you'd better not move. The Snake King reminded that this was not nonsense. A person suddenly coming out in the middle of the night can indeed scare people to death. Especially Grandma Chi-san, who believes in ghosts and gods, is even more afraid. After hearing this, Hetian did not dare to step forward, fearing that she would really scare Grandma Chi to death. After a while, Grandma Chi got up from the ground and walked forward step by step. This is in her own yard, so Grandma Chi doesn't have to hold back and gasp loudly. Open your mouth, huff and puff, and gasp loudly. Hetian didn't go back to her room until she heard Grandma Chi go to bed to rest. Still not at ease, Hetian said, "Snake King, please help me see if Grandma Chi is in bed." "Here, don't worry, she's just tired, nothing serious," the Snake King said. "You should also take a rest and get up early to cook." Filial piety is not just a matter of words, but depends on how you act. Do. At this time, the Snake King was not agitated. He was also moved by Grandma Chi-san's actions today. After hearing this, Hetian secretly made up her mind to be filial to Grandma Chi from now on. Early the next morning, after Hetian sent the letter to New Daejeon, he hurried home to cook. Grandma Chi was exhausted yesterday and got up a little late. When she realized that it was getting late and she hadn't cooked yet, she quickly got up. But when her feet stepped on the ground, she felt a heartbreaking pain, which made her face look ferocious. Alas, it's becoming more and more useless. It won't work at this point. Hearing a sound inside the house, He Tian shouted outside, "Grandma Chi, are you awake? Wake up!" Grandma Chi-san quickly got up. "Just wait, I will go and cook for you." Grandma Chi-san got dressed and went to open the door. He Tian had already brought hot water in and said with a smile, "Grandma Chi, wash your face first. It's cold outside. I'll bring the food to your room. Hey, you kid, go out and work when you are healthy. You are young, so don't be careless. You will suffer in the future," Grandma Chi-san said, and then went out. However, from Grandma Chi's unusual steps, He Tian could see that Grandma Chi's feet were hurting. She quickly stepped forward to support her and said, "Grandma Chi, look at my face. It's rosy and shiny. I'm full of strength. You can tell that I'm fine. Don't worry, I know my own body." Grandma Chi-san looked at He Tian up and down, left and right. Well, she was really energetic, so she felt relieved. Her feet were really hurting, so she sat on the chair and said, "You are fine, I can rest assured. Put your hands together and thank all the ghosts and gods." In Grandma Chi-san's heart, if she burned paper money yesterday, He Tian would be fine this morning. It can be seen that those ghosts who are short of money left after taking the money. Ren and Gui Nai were just as greedy for money after they washed their faces and gargled their mouths under He Tian's service, and applied a little cream from He Tian on their faces. He Tian knew very well what Grandma Chi meant. "Chi-san Nai," He Tian brought the well-melted multi-grain porridge, stir-fried the meat with Chinese cabbage, and had a delicious breakfast. "Oh my, sweet girl, I'm here, I'm so lucky," Grandma Chi-san laughed and said, "I think your cooking tastes better than mine for the same thing." "No way," He Tian was modest. In fact, she also knew the reason. On the one hand, the craftsmanship was on the one hand, and on the other hand, He Tian was willing to put things and condiments in, so the food she made was particularly delicious. "Whoever marries Tian from our family in the future will be a treasure," Grandma Chi-san praised. "By the way, how is that childhood sweetheart from your hometown doing?" Seeing Grandma Chi-san asking, He Tian's face was slightly red, and she whispered, "Yesterday Brother Dajan sent a letter and sent me some food stamps. I have already written a reply and asked Brother Dajan to take it." "Haha, okay," Grandma Chi-san nodded and said with a smile, "In these days, food stamps are not useful for anything. As long as you are not hungry, you can think of other things. When this woman is looking for a man, she can't look for someone who can only talk." Inactive. When He Tian heard what Grandma Chi-san said, she guessed that there seemed to be a story in it. "Grandma Chi, why do you say that? Did you have such an experience when you were young?" He Tian asked, with a gossipy face. "Those things have been dusty for a long time, but now that I think about them, they are quite interesting." Grandma Chi-san said with a smile, "The sun is quite nice outside. While I'm basking in the sun, I'll tell you about my past." "Okay," He Tian, Grandma Chi-san, helped her sit down on a chair outside. She quickly cleared away the dishes and brought the small stool over. She held her chin and prepared to listen to Grandma Chi-san's stories about the past. He Tian knew that she had low emotional intelligence and was not smart. She hoped to learn what she lacked from this shrewd and strong old lady. The monthly pass is 700 plus, please vote. At 2 o'clock, Kikai is so diligent, please vote. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 139. Chapter 139 How to Choose a Man, Monthly Ticket 720 plus. Grandma Chi-san here was just about to talk about what happened in the past, when Chi Xiaoyan came over. Chi Xiaoyan was also very bored after not going to school. Now she is very happy to hear stories. Xiao Yan, come on, Grandma Chi is going to tell stories from the past. Come and listen to He Tian Tian said, hoping that Chi Xiao Yan could also learn something from it. Grandma Chi San is a legend. Although not many people know about it, in He Tian Nation's eyes, ordinary old ladies cannot compare to Grandma Chi San. Not being an outsider, He Tian Tian went to the house and moved a bench for Chi Xiao Yan, and sat on the left and right next to Grandma Chi San. Grandma Chi San has always been close to Secretary Chi's family, and she regards Chi Xiao Yan as her granddaughter. She also knows that Chi Xiao Yan is not a talkative person, so she said with a smile, "Then I told you, just don't find it annoying." "It's not annoying at all," He Tian Tian said quickly, "just tell me." "Third Grandma, I want to hear it too, hurry up," Chi Xiao Yan also urged. It was too boring now that there are no entertainment activities. Grandma Chi San slowly sorted out her long-lost memories and said slowly, "At that time, after our land was divided, we only had a few acres of land. In the past, the servants in the family were the masters of the house after they were assigned the land. Everyone was the same. My sister went to the city to find a future, but my parents were old, so I stayed behind to serve my parents. Although I looked good, even though I was not a rich farmer, some people still showed kindness to me and hoped that I could do it. Marry me. But they all said that as long as you marry me, I will plant your family's land and ensure that you will have no worries about food and clothing. Only one person said nothing and always went to work in my field in the middle of the night. I didn't notice it, and thought I was a good worker. After comparing it with others, I realized that someone was helping me. I didn't see anyone in the field during the day, so it must be at night. Is there such a snail boy?" He Tian Tian, Chi Xiao Yan was very curious and continued to listen. "At that time, I planted a lot of cabbage and kept it to sell in the winter, so that I could have some money for the new year. I was catching insects during the day, and the speed was very slow, but when I caught them again the next day, I found that there were very few insects. I guess that person was helping me. I was very curious and wanted to know who this person was. I came to the field secretly at night and found out that he was a long-term worker in my family. He didn't know how to speak nicely and just kept busy." The third grandma said, her face showing happiness. This was the first person who took the initiative to help her when she was in trouble, without even asking for anything in return. "Is that my third grandfather?" Chi Xiao Yan asked curiously. "This man is so kind, and he silently sacrifices for the woman he loves." "Yes, that's your third grandpa," Grandma Chi San said, while others were still talking. "He was already helping me silently. When others quietly told me to pay attention to my health and eat more delicious food at that time, your third grandfather had saved or bought delicious food when he came back from working outside and left it to me. Grandpa San is such a good man," He Tian Tian also said in admiration. "His sweet words can confuse people, but they are not as good as a man's sincere actions." "Yes, your third grandpa is a good man. After I married him, my life was ordinary, but I didn't suffer. I just suffered so much that he died early." Grandma Chi San sighed. "I'm not saying this to give you any advice. Just listen to it, but I want to say that girls of your age, who are just starting to fall in love, are shy and embarrassed when faced with the enthusiasm of suitors, and will often be deceived by the appearance. This is not the case with a man who can rely on them for a lifetime. It doesn't matter what the man says, but what he does. People's mouths change at will, and only those who give willingly can be sincere." "It makes sense," He Tian Tian nodded seriously. Although what Grandma Chi said was simple, it contained great truth. Yes, men's sweet words can easily confuse people and often cover women's eyes. Only through true dedication can one see a person's sincerity, not just words. "It makes sense." Chi Xiao Yan nodded. Grandma Chi San's words reminded her of Niu Daijin. "Haha, Men are afraid of getting into the wrong profession, and women are afraid of marrying the wrong man. Although this is a new society, divorce is allowed. However, people's words are terrible and they will always be affected, so when you find a partner in the future, you must be polished. Ai's grandma Chi-san reminded that she saw that many women were looking for men who were lazy and would kick and punch them when they were unhappy. This was not a human life. I spent the whole morning listening to Grandma Chi-san talk about herself and other people. Not only is it interesting to listen to, but you can also learn some principles about how to behave in the world. In the afternoon, He Tian had eaten and originally wanted to go out, but Grandma Chi-san stopped her and refused to let her go. She asked He Tian to rest for a while before going to the back mountain. He Tian is actually already well, but Grandma Chi-san's kindness is good, so He Tian should reluctantly accept it. Thinking of going to the back mountain during the day, Zoli and Xiangrong had to go with them, so she couldn't get some private goods for her family and Huo Yingja. In that case, go at night. On the contrary, with the Snake King around, she can see the road clearly and is not afraid of those wild beasts. Thinking of this, He Tian began to prepare things, and while requesting the Snake King, she said, "Snake King, there are other people around me during the day, so I can only catch more prey at night. Take care of it, and take it back to the south during the New Year holiday." City. Not interested, the Snake King said lazily. He couldn't eat it? He Tian knew that the Snake King did not hibernate in winter, but he was still lazier than in summer or autumn. Suddenly He Tian had an idea, and combined with the nature of snakes, he thought that the Snake King liked to swim in the pool in the cave, and knew that he could convince the Snake King. "King Snake, I want to go and play in that cave. That's our secret base. The water in the cave is steaming and warm in winter, and it's very comfortable to soak your feet in," He Tian said softly. "Why don't we go take a look?" The Snake King had not been in the water since winter. His mung bean-sized eyes rolled around and he asked, You didn't lie to me." He Tian rolled her delicate eyes, pursed her lips and complained, "I hate cheating the most, how could I lie? If you don't believe it, you can go and have a look with me. If there are no hot springs, you won't be able to, you won't lose anything if you go. Think about it. On the other hand, if I lie to you and you don't believe me, tell me, do I need to lie to you?" Since his rebirth, He Tian has insisted on her own ideas, been willing to open her heart, and has become eloquent. What he said just now was so good that He Tian was convinced by herself. At 6 o'clock, monthly tickets are available for 740 plus. Ask for votes. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 140. Chapter 140. The Snake King is generous, 740 plus. The Snake King thought about it for a while. Yes, if He Tian lied to it, it would be just once, and he would not believe her next time. Furthermore, the little girl He Tian is timid and a little clever, but she will never deceive it. In that case, I promise you to go to the back mountain at night, the Snake King agreed. He hadn't been in the water for a long time and felt uncomfortable all over. He Tian prepared the tools that she could use, put them in a backpack, and just carried them away at night. At night, He Tian suddenly remembered, what if Grandma Chi-san got up in the middle of the night and went to her house and saw no one in the house? "Why aren't you leaving?" asked the Snake King. "If you don't leave, you won't be able to come back in the middle of the night." He Tian thought for a moment and said, "I'd better sleep in the first half of the night and go in the second half of the night. This way, when Grandma Chi is fast asleep, she won't notice that I'm out." "Okay then, you go to sleep, I'll call you later." The Snake King was ready to give it a try. After 12 o'clock in the morning, the Snake King woke up He Tian. He Tian carried the bamboo basket on her back and climbed up the wall to go out. In order to avoid meeting people in the village, the Snake King made He Tian invisible. He Tian ran to get to the back mountain as quickly as possible, and arrived at the secret base on the back mountain in less than an hour. The Snake King had already felt the passion inside, jumped off He Tian, and climbed into the pool in the cave. He Tian followed and found that the water pool inside was larger than before. The terrain on the west side of the cave is relatively high and has not been flooded by the spring water. The Snake King swam back and forth in the pool, sometimes swimming on his back, sometimes swimming in an S shape, sometimes he was completely underwater, and sometimes his head was exposed above. Snake King, as promised, what about hunting? He Tian saw that Snake King looked happy and careless, and carefully reminded him that he didn't just come here to play, he also had to work. The Snake King turned a deaf ear until he was tired from playing. He Tian was about to fall asleep while sitting on the side, then he lay down on the big stone and said lazily, "Get up, the prey is coming." He Tian woke up in a daze, and when she opened her eyes, she saw a row of wild rabbits in front of her, dozens of them. So many, He Tian was dumbfounded. "Snake King, although I want to catch more, I can't catch all the rabbits on the mountain at once." After the Snake King exercise, he was in a very good mood, and continued to say in a good voice, "The back mountains stretch for hundreds of miles, and there are countless rabbits in them. This is just a few. Even if you catch 50 rabbits in one day, it will only last a year. More than 10,000 are nothing. Hurry up, if we don't take action, we have to go down the mountain." As soon as He Tian heard this, she didn't hesitate for a moment, took out the tools, and started to deal with these rabbits. After peeling off the skin and removing the internal organs, they washed it at the water outlet of the pool, and all the dirt was washed away. In this cave, He Tian had previously made a rack for drying rabbits. After He Tian marinated it, he directly tied a small rope around the rabbit's neck and hung it on it. From the open air of the cave, he saw that it was getting light outside. He Tian stopped and counted the wild rabbits on the shelf. There were 22. He Tian also cleaned up the rabbit skin on the ground and hung it on the other side. "This thing can also be sold. Let's go. If you don't go, the villagers will get up," the Snake King urged. It was also tired and wanted to take a nap. One person and one snake returned home and just hid in the house. Grandma Chi-san got up. He Tian changed clothes inside and got up too. She is in good health now and is embarrassed to let Grandma Chi cook every day. After another 2 days, Grandma Chi-san let He Tian go to the back mountain. Zoli and Xiangrong were very happy to see He Tian coming over and said, "Tian girl, you are finally back. We dug a few traps in the back mountain. We were going to take a look today. You come with us? Well, with someone as lucky as you, we may be able to catch more prey." I said I was lucky, but that was nonsense. "Uncle Zo, Uncle Xiang takes it seriously," He Tian joked, not wanting everyone and their hopes to pin their hopes on her, even though she intended to help. "Don't believe these things. When we fought in the past, we were very particular about it. We hope to reuse people with strong ability and good luck. Such people can lead the people around them and make them think that they can win the war as long as they follow them." "Come back alive," Zoli said, "you are our hope now. Come on, hurry up. It's too cold today and we urgently need fur to keep warm." Only then did He Tian notice that their clothes were very thin and could not withstand the cold wind. "Okay, let's leave now. If we don't gain much, you can't blame me," He Tian said, following Zoli and Xiangrong up the back mountain. Although Zoli and Xiangrong are not experienced hunters, they are good at observation and know the places where animals pass by. Digging traps in these places usually yields results. Seeing how pitiful they were, He Tian softened her heart and asked the Snake King to drive many wild rabbits over. "Now even if you catch tigers or bears, you can't sell them, and you are not allowed to catch rabbits and pheasants. Not only can you eat the meat, but you can also skin the furs to make clothes, which is the most cost-effective way? Xiangrong, look, there are actually 6 rabbits in this trap, Zoli shouted. Oh my god, I can finally wear a leather jacket. That's right, that's right. If you save a little, you can buy 2 leather jackets, He Tian said. Uncle Zo, Uncle Xiang, how many traps have you dug in total? In fact, He Tian already knew through the Snake King that they had a total of 7 traps. Put 2 or 3 rabbits and 1 or 2 pheasants in a trap, as long as it is not empty. The Snake King was so generous that he actually released 6 wild rabbits. I don't know how many other traps there were in them. 7. If there are so many of each, our life will be easier this winter, Xiangrong returned and said. We spent a lot of effort digging these traps. The shovels of the livestock team were all used up by us. It's broken. Fortunately, Uncle Chi is here to help us cover it up. Haha, you guys are working very hard, He Tian smiled and said. Fortunately these people had set a trap, otherwise He Tian would have had a headache how to help them. When they arrived at the second trap, He Tian was shocked and said, oh my, there are not only rabbits in it, but also goats. He Tian only asked the Snake King to drive away the rabbit. The sheep should have fallen by himself. Zoli looked in the direction of He Tian's finger and was overjoyed. Oh my gosh, look at that ewe's belly. It seems like there is a baby in her belly, Zoli said excitedly. If he survives, he can keep it, give birth to lambs, and have goat milk to drink. Please vote for me in the 5th update. I want to live and die. Oh, you are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Sweetness of the Seventies. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 141. Xiangrong went down and took out the goat. The goat broke its leg. There were 4 rabbits and 2 pheasants inside. They had hoped to catch a lot of prey before, but after all, they were not experienced hunters and had no experience. They didn't know how effective the traps they dug were. Now that I see such great gains from the first and second traps, I gradually gain confidence. The third trap, this time the things were even more exotic, 2 deer, 1 big and 1 small, and a few rabbits. Oh, we have deer, 1 big and 1 small, Xiangrong said. Take them back and raise them. If you cut off the antlers every year, you can sell them for a lot of money. Venison is much more valuable than rabbit and pheasant. Yes, Zoli was also very excited. This time he could perform meritorious service again. I brought a rope with me, tied it up, and tied up the things inside. After clearing the 3 traps, He Tian said, there are a lot of things, let's send them down first. Zoli and Xiangrong looked at each other. They all wanted a lot of things, especially a sheep and 2 deer, 1 big and 1 small. These were more valuable than rabbits. Okay, let's go down first, send the things back and then come back, Zoli agreed, and the 3 of them gained a lot. They went down the back mountain and returned to the livestock team. Old Man Chi, Professor Gu, and Old Man Bai laughed so hard that they couldn't even see their eyes when they saw how much they had gained. Qianchikan and Sun Sihao in the house saw Zoli and Xiangrong coming back with so many things. They heard that they were going up the mountain and wanted to follow them. The 2 of them have been taken care of by others these days, and they feel bad that they can't do heavy work, but they can go up the mountain together to find prey. Brother Zo, we don't know how to hunt, but we can get you something. We too have always been taken care of by you, and we feel bad about it, so let us do something. Qianchikan was also wearing thin clothes. Seeing the hareskin jacket on Old Man Bai, he was very envious. Since they can still get hareskins and help them, they might as well ask others to help make one. Okay, carry the bamboo basket on your back. The road is a bit long. You walk faster and keep up, Zolita said. Usually everyone eats together. These people did not go up the mountain to hunt, so they ate the same as everyone else. As for the fur coats for the winter, everyone has made them, so it would be a bad idea not to make them for them. In order to prevent them from reporting, we cannot ignore them. It would be better if they want to work and relieve their stress. It is better to reap the rewards of hard work than to sit back and enjoy the gains. Okay, Chienchikan and Sun Sihao agreed. After these few months of hard work, they have adapted to life here. Working is no longer a burden, but a life. This period of decentralization is torture, but it also exercises you. A group of 5 people went up to the back mountain. Professor Gu, Professor Wang, and Old Man Bai, under the leadership of Old Man Chi, heated hot water and skinned and cramped the rabbits and pheasants. As for the wild goats, 2 deer, 1 large and 1 small, were kept in a simple pen, waiting for everyone to come back and discuss how to deal with it. This time, they headed straight for the 4th trap. The 4th trap, holy shit, is even more powerful. It actually requires a half-sized wild boar. As for the few rabbits that fell down, they had been killed by wild boars. As for the wild boar, it also broke its leg and was lingering in the trap, moaning and screaming. There are wild boars here, Chienchikan said in surprise. Oh my, I haven't finished eating the pork at home, and I caught it again. Brother Zhou, Brother Xiang, you are the most powerful, even more powerful than those old hunters. In fact, Zhou Li and Xiang Rong were also surprised. How could they gain so much? They couldn't figure it out either, and finally decided that since they couldn't figure it out, they shouldn't think about it. Anyway, this is a reward from the mountain, don't give it up in vain. We didn't know either. We didn't expect the effect to be so good, Zhou Li said. Now the half-grown wild boar has broken its leg and is dying. We put our rope around its neck and the 4 of us carried it down. Sweet girl helped to get the remaining wild rabbits and pheasants. Okay, several people agreed. When a group of them worked hard to carry the half-grown wild boar to the livestock team at the foot of the mountain, Chienchikan and Sun Sihao were sweating profusely and sat on the ground too tired to get up. Old Man Chi urged, "You guys come in quickly. You have sweated so much that you will catch the cold when the wind blows." After hearing this, several people quickly got up, stumbled back to the house, and drank hot water to replenish their fluids. "Where did you dig this trap? How did you get so many things?" Old Man Chi asked in surprise. There are people in the village who go hunting on weekdays, but no one has ever hunted so many. Zhou Li thought for a while and said, after passing through the dense forest halfway up the mountain, there was a small stream over there. There were many animal footprints around us, so we guessed that many animals passed by there, so we dug traps there, but we didn't expect to gain so much. We still have 3 traps to pick up, so it's estimated that there are a lot of things in the remaining 3 traps. Upon hearing this, Old Man Chi's expression changed and he asked, "You are too bold. It is extremely dangerous to pass through that dense forest. If you encounter a blind bear, a tiger, a leopard, or a wolf, you will be in danger." "Haha, Uncle Chi, aren't you trying to scare us? We have gone up and down the mountain so many times, but we have never seen those big animals once." "The biggest one is the wild boar," Xiang Rong said, "and I also secretly after reconnaissance, there are no footprints of large and dangerous animals, so you can rest assured." "Isn't it possible," Old Man Chi said, "someone in Hujia village was beaten to death by a blind bear before. It was so miserable that he almost turned into a meat pie. It's so pitiful. Since then, no one has gone there to hunt." Zhou Li and Xiang Ronghun didn't care, waiting to go after lunch. He Tian wanted to go back to have lunch with Grandma Chi-san, but was stopped by everyone. "Tian girl, eat here, there are so many things here," Professor Wang said. Tian didn't stay here to eat before. It's not that they didn't want to stay, but the food here is not enough for everyone. Tian smiled and said, "No, just give me one after you guys take care of it." I'll take it back and eat it with Grandma Chi. She is at home alone and is quite lonely. If I don't go back, she will be alone. People probably don't cook anymore. He Tian really misses Grandma Chi-san. No matter how busy she is, she will go home to eat and stay with Grandma Chi-san. You are a good boy. Professor Wang took 3 wild rabbits dripping with blood from the big basin that had been treated. He Tian quickly waved her hand and said, if you take this all the way, there will be blood everywhere. It's better to stay here and control it, and I will take it away. Anyway, she has her share, and it doesn't matter if she takes it early or late. The Sweetness of the 70s. Author, Chi Sing Cao. Chapter 142. Professor Wang looked at it and felt that it was not well thought out. Okay, Professor Wang said, be careful on the road. Wear a scarf and a hat. Don't freeze. He Tian was about to leave when Old Man Bai waved and said, sweet girl, if it's inconvenient for Village Chief Chi to come here, please give him a message and say that we have caught a lot of things here. We are the only ones in the livestock team right now, I know, but the village doesn't know yet, so ask him how to deal with it. Yes, if there is less food, everyone can just share it and eat it. But now that there are so many, no one wants to take risks and must report them. After all, there are not only Village Chief Chi in the village, but also some people who are opposed to Village Chief Chi, who are looking for trouble. If they don't starve to death, they have to consider more things. After these people came to Kijia village, they lived a stable life, had enough to eat, were respected and had dignity, so they were very grateful and did not want Secretary Chi to be ousted. Instead, he hopes to help Village Chief Chi and establish prestige in the village. In this case, with Secretary Chi's care, their lives will continue to be so stable. If it had been anyone else, with their tendency to make trouble out of nothing, these old immortals would have been tortured to death sooner or later. They are scared and don't want to go through that kind of torment again. He Tian nodded and said, okay, when I go back, I will go find Xiao Yan and talk to Village Chief Chi about this matter. Then I'll trouble you, Old Man Bai said, hoping that this could give them a stable environment in Kijia village. Zoli and Xiangrong got these things, so Old Man Bai can make the decision. When the others heard what Old Man Bai said, they felt disappointed, but there was nothing they could do about it. They all comforted themselves, it was good to have enough food. During the autumn harvest in other villages, they did not do a good job in preventing rain. A lot of rice was overwatered and some sprouted. Now they only eat 2 meals a day of visible porridge. However, Kijia village, under the wise leadership of Secretary Chi, did a good job. In order to prevent rain, not a grain of food was wasted, so this winter, Kijia village's life is very easy. They can't push it too hard, it's pretty good now. He Tian went back to talk to Grandma Chi-san, and then went to Village Chief Chi's house. After the food was distributed, Village Chief Chi was fine. He was sleeping at home. When he saw He Tian coming over, he said directly, Xiao Yan is in the house. Chi Xiao Yan learned something from Professor Wang. After returning home, except for doing some housework, she always shut herself in the room and studied diligently. If there were no taboos, Chi Xiao Yan would want to practice her voice every day. He Tian listened and said with a smile, Village Chief Chi, I'm not here to see Xiao Yan, I'm here to send a message to the people who have been sent down from the livestock team. What are you talking about? Village Chief Chi asked quickly, what happened there? It's not busy now. Everyone is hiding in the house, so everything should be fine. It's like this. Secretary Chi, Uncle Zhou and Uncle Xiang dug several traps in the back mountain and caught a lot of things. More than a dozen rabbits, 2 sika deer, 1 large and 1 small, as well as a wild goat and a small wild boar. I don't know how to deal with it, so I wanted to ask your opinion. He Tian said, Village Chief Chi is very smart and can definitely find a way to get the best of both worlds. Village Chief Chi was also stunned and asked, "Sweet girl, where did they find so many things?" The trap was dug by the stream after passing through the dense forest on the mountainside. I heard from Grandpa Chi that there were bears, tigers, leopards and other beasts there. But we looked and found no trace of them. Comrade Zhou and Comrade Xiang also said that there were no footprints of large beasts near the creek. He Tian recounted the conversation between Old Man Qi and Zhou Li and Xiang Rong. If more traps are dug, maybe more prey can be caught in the village. The Chinese New Year is coming soon, and everyone is short of money. If these prey are sold to the commune's purchasing station, they can be sold for a lot of money. This year, every household in Kijia village has received food. It would be even better if they could make some money from hunting. Are you telling the truth? Secretary Chi asked again, with a plan in mind, but he was always cautious and did not dare to make up his mind. This is all what Comrade Zhou and Comrade Xiang found out through investigation. I went to the mountain with them twice in the morning, and no large beasts were found. He Tian said, I have also heard about it. As for what to do, it's not I can interrupt now. I have to go home for dinner, otherwise Grandma Chi will be anxious. Okay, you go back first, thank you for your hard work. Secretary Chi sent He Tian away, thinking about what He Tian said. Chi Xiao Yan also came out to see her off, and complained that He Tian didn't stay for dinner. When He Tian went back, Grandma Chi San had already prepared the meal. One old and one young, the food is good and there is meat for every meal. Although there are only a few pieces, the dishes made with these slices of bacon taste much better. In the afternoon, when He Tian went to the livestock team again, she saw Secretary Chi, Chi, and another old man in the village named Chi Shulin who was in his 50s. Chi Shulin was a very powerful hunter in the village, and his father was also a well-known hunter before he died. He occasionally used his homemade bow and arrows to shoot some game and eat meat, but like others, he did not dare to sell it at all. When they saw the string of wild rabbits hanging on the rope, the groaning half-dead wild boar, 2 deer, 1 big and 1 small, and a sheep, they were shocked. Oh, since someone in Hujia village was beaten to death by a blind bear the year before last, very few people have gone there. Chi Shulin said, it's no wonder there are so many prey. Several surrounding villages have not had any in 2 years. We went hunting on the mountain. But there are a lot of these small animals, and there should be a lot of large beasts as well. Are you sure you didn't see any footprints of large beasts around there? Zhou Li, Xiang Rong, said, before we dug the trap, we looked around the creek for a radius of 5 or 6 miles, and found no large beasts. The biggest ones were wild boars. Chi Shulin frowned, very puzzled. Such a result was unreasonable. No matter what, I'll go up with you to have a look. Chi Shulin said, hearing is believing, seeing is believing. Unless he goes there in person, he will never believe it. Chi Shulin likes hunting very much, but when he thinks that what he has worked so hard to catch is being divided among everyone, his family cannot get much, and it is very dangerous. Therefore, Chi Shulin has not passed through the dense forest at all in the past 2 years due to the obstruction of his family. So I know nothing about the situation there. Secretary Chi asked him to come this time because he wanted to go there with everyone to have a look and make sure there were no large beasts. He would probably organize the strong men of the villagers to go up the mountain to dig traps and catch prey. The second update of the basics, 760 plus will be posted at 6 p.m.